one article that I looked at is actually part of a journal called Theory into Practice. So the journal was published in 2003, and the specific article that I looked at is called Urban Teachers' Use of Culturally Responsive Management Strategies. And this article is by Dave F. Brown. So the reason I like this article, even though it just focuses on urban settings, I think teachers in the urban settings tend to get a larger majority of minorities, if that makes sense. So getting their insight into how they manage their classroom or how they change their teaching in their classrooms, I think can be beneficial for teachers everywhere, especially with our world becoming more diverse and progressive. So one of the main parts of the article was talked about the importance of caring and the psychological safety for children. So I'm sure you've heard it before if you've taken education courses, but before students can give their full effort in learning, they need their basic needs met. So if a child comes to the school hungry or thirsty or tired, they're not going to be able to perform, their brain's not going to be able to perform to its full capacity because it's telling their body, you're tired or hungry or thirsty. So teachers need to find a way to either provide those things or find people to help that child so that when they come to school, they're ready to learn and they're engaged and they're able to engage in learning. Along with meeting their basic needs, it's going to be important to develop positive relationships with the children. Once you create that caring relationship, students, that respect will be there both ways. You'll understand the students better and respect them, and they'll understand you better and respect you. And you'll show that school is for learning, but it's also for relationships, and it's building that community so that we can put our full effort in learning. The article talked about culturally, behavior can look different in the homes. So when they come to school, some students may need you to change your teaching strategies, or you may need to talk to the students and the families about how in your classroom, this is kind of how you feel the students should be interacting. So it talked about how you may need to be more assertive with African American students. They need straightforward, this is exactly what I need you to do, and this is when you need it, this is when I need it to be done by. They need that more to the point assertiveness in your tone. Whereas it talked about Asian students at home are told to be more obedient. So they may come to you and say, is this good enough? Did I do this right? How exactly do you want me to do this? They won't speak until you tell them they can speak. So taking those things into account, you're going to have to change your strategies. And then again, like I said, the United States is becoming more diverse. So a lot more languages are popping up in classrooms that teachers weren't prepared for. So for ELL students, it talked about how in the beginning, they're probably going to be more quiet because they don't want to mess up. But if you model that messing up is okay, making mistakes is okay, that can make them more comfortable. And I think by doing small group activities and having them interact with smaller groups first, they'll build up their confidence with English and then be able to share out. I even thought about if you do activities to get those English-speaking students to be in the English language learners' shoes, have them try to teach some of the other kids their home language. And so those students can get an understanding of, what the English language learner is going through as they're trying to learn English. again, I think this article, even though it was geared towards urban teachers, I think is beneficial for all teachers. And I provided in the bibliography below, if you want to take a look at it, you can look up the title of the article, and I think it's very beneficial.